Good morning, everyone. It is Shankar and Andrea with The Shanks Show. We help your healthcare business grow, and as of today, you have a nice little ticker at the bottom of the video to remind you that you can go to shanks.healthcare to find out more. How are you today, Andrea?
Great. How are you?
Doing fine, thank you. I got an email yesterday, I believe, from LinkedIn, and the LinkedIn editor asked me to talk about sound AI, artificial intelligence in sound, because apparently Spotify invested a bunch of money into sound AI. And I wanted to ask you, Andrea, because you actually use Sound AI way more than I do. Maybe you don't realize it, but you interact more with
I know.
Siri and Alexa and Echo and all of these virtual intelligence that's difficult.
Intelligences.
Intelligences. Wow, that's difficult in the morning. So, what do you think? Is that technology already where it needs to be or not?
Well, I do think that it is come a long way. And I think that, like you said, we're using AI a lot without actually realizing it. And by that, I mean that there are some improvements that have happened where in the past you definitely knew, like you said, that you were listening to a robot. And now you don't have that super artificial sound to when you're asking for speech to dictation or from text to speech and all of these
Mhm,
things, which can really slow you down when you have to be at your computer or on your phone. And so it's becoming a lot more efficient now. We can use it when we're in the car. We can use it when we're getting ready in the morning. We can use it when we're, bumbling around the house or whatever we're doing. We're outside, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So the fact that we're starting to use it more often, it's becoming more available, should really make some people kind of a little bit worried. Particularly, there are artists now that'll probably end up being replaced by a lot of AI. The things that you had to do that would take a very long time, you can now have AI sort through certain rhythms or algorithms or whatever that are pleasing to the ear, and they'll come up with different kinds of things like that. I think we're just going to start seeing it everywhere. I did see on I don't know if it was TikTok or Instagram, an artist ask for this push of different artists together and see what AI could come up with. And the sound
mhm,
was really impressive. You would have thought that it was mixed in a studio by human beings.
mhm, mhm. Yeah, I think there is still a lot of work to do in sound AI. I think we are not very demanding of the technology because we are just at the beginning of it. But if you think about the efficiency, how often does Alexa still get it wrong? If
That's
you're
true.
not on Alexa, for example, our car has sound AI and it is terrible. So I think there's a lot of work that will have to be done in terms of recognizing the intention and the meaning of what the human says within the context of the field of the domain that the conversation happens in. And the challenge is that with speech, humans are just used to overstep boundaries very easily, get into different domains, because language is just so quick and flexible. So I do think that from my perspective, the biggest challenge is to make understanding, contextual understanding, way more efficient. I think you and I, we have a lot of grace for the technology because we didn't grow up with it. But if you think about someone who was born a few years ago and they talk to Alexa and they're probably like, it's not there yet. So,
Or "Hey Siri," that's going to be a phrase that
yeah.
kids grow up with too. I think we were talking a little bit in two different lanes. So, I mean, I think of discovery, and again, these small things from text to speech and all of that. It's like, wow, it has come a long way. But then when you think about the integration of medicine or in different fields, and how there are these imperfections, and we do have a long way to go, but I can see it on the horizon, how we will have a bigger integration, and humans will start to require it. Honestly, I there's not really a euphemism I can think of. It's still early in the morning for lazy, but the less because I think there I don't know if there's a different, also like a way to search that AI integrates when it's doing discovery and things like that, then maybe we wouldn't necessarily, well, at least the uninformed average person wouldn't necessarily know what volumes to search through to find what they're looking for. Whereas maybe with AI, there is a certain way that they think of how, what the searcher intent is, the user intent, and they already know if you're asking this, they really mean that, and
Mhm.
to go in that direction.
Yeah, and I think we're on the same plane. It's just that you look at the glass is half full, right? And I look at it's half empty kind of situation. I just
Because
want
I
to
use
be
it more? Is that the reason?
what?
Is it because I use it more?
Maybe, yeah. But I also wanted to think about, well, how do I think what applications will truly emerge in sound AI? I think that Spotify, for example, invested in that technology probably for podcasting,
Mm-hmm.
because if you can submit texts, where we know that text generation, artificial intelligent text generation, I think is a little bit more advanced than the speech generation. And also people have, there's so much text in the world that is already written. If you can feed it into an AI software that automatically creates audiobooks or podcasts, well, think about how much time is saved by doing so. Because I imagine right now doing an audiobook and doing a podcast is time intensive. You gotta get a voice artist, you gotta get an editor. And I think they are in their minds a few years ahead where that is automated.
Whoa, what if it can emulate the sound of our voices
Hmm.
and then basically replicate, produce a whole entire podcast series as
Yeah,
if it were us, understanding intonation and inflection and accounting for all of these things?
right.
That would
And
be
I think that's where it's going. And as with everything in technology, yeah, like on one side you are really excited, and on the other side you are terrified. Like,
so. Do you feel excited, Shankar, that maybe you can? Would you even use it if you had that option, or would you be stubborn just like you were when web builders came out and you were like, no, I'm not going to use that?
no, I have learned as a business owner that in order to be competitive and efficient, you have no choice but to leverage those technologies that drive down your cost of creation. And it's really a scary thing as a human being, because we are at risk of replacing anything and everything we do with technology. But I don't think as business owners we have a choice. I
Mm.
am excited as a business owner, but as a human, I am very skeptical of this whole movement of replacing everything with machines and artificial intelligence. I mean, we both know a movie that is a classic that paints a very dark future if you let AI take over too much, right?
That's true. Would Top Gun be what it was if it was written or directed by AI?
I don't know. Probably not yet, but the scary thing is maybe in 10 years or so, I don't know, a AI can write a perfectly fine script for a movie, and it might be better than your average human being, right? We don't know. All I know is that, again, as business owners, we don't have a choice. And you and I, we are already using Sound AI, for example, to transcribe our clients' blog posts.
Yep.
Certain blog articles, we have a feature that's right above that lets you play the blog article, and there's a relatively okay sounding human voice that reads the blog to you.
Yes.
It's AI, right? If we didn't have that technology, we would have to resort to paying a voice artist,
Right.
which would be kind of nice for that voice artist. But in this case, it's nice for us because we don't have to pay a person. So again, a lot of these things in technology is definitely a double-edged sword.
Yeah, we'll have to keep up with it. A part of me is super excited for all of the reasons that I told you. Like, I can't wait to dive in and have more discovery options. And I think it's nice that there's more variety in the AI voice, that it sounds less robotic. I can't wait to see what happens in the healthcare technology field with AI. It would be
Yeah,
very interesting to see how do you even integrate medicine into that.
yeah.
But we'll just have to keep watching and see.
Yeah. How about this? If you know someone who has combined sound AI with healthcare technology, please put us in touch with the person. I want to talk to that person,
Oh yeah.
maybe get him or her on a live. I know, Andrea, it's time for you to leave for the morning meeting. I'm
Yes.
gonna take a moment to wrap this up, but thank you
Bye,
so much. This was
everybody.
a great conversation.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah, I will ask my viewers here, if you want to learn how to grow your healthcare business by by partnering really with us. The future is doing it with you, not doing it for you. That is very important. Go to shanks.healthcare. That is the web address, shanks.healthcare. It is blended in here in the ticker, and then you can check out what we have there for you. For now, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again with the Shanks Show tomorrow morning.